Hello and welcome back to Candid Talk with Adelle. We bring you conversations that you'd normally ignore, but we're here to provide it. So please subscribe and like everything that we have put out there, and especially about non-communicable diseases, but also now we're going to talk about nutrition. Remember, we're at the new Nanjing Hotel on Lugogo Bypass for every service that you need. Nice meals. Bring your families here. The small meeting rooms are very, very, very nice. So please try their services. And that's our new home as Candid Talk with Adelle. So you are welcome. I still have Edith on the show. And today we're talking about how to improve your lifestyle through nutrition. So let's get started. Welcome back, Edith.
Thank you, Adelle.
I'm happy to have you. I'm happy to have you again as we talk about this conversation. The last conversation was about non-communicable diseases, and we didn't notice that we are all at risk.
Yes.
Being at risk, it means that we have to do something about it.
Very true.
Something in our control. We don't have control of our age. As long as you want to stay alive, you're going to grow old. So the things that we have control over, things like nutrition, and you're an expert in nutrition. So let's have a chat around that. Why is it important to eat healthy?
So our meals, really, the way we eat, not just our meals, there's snacks, there's drinks, there's all kinds of things. And there's some things that we eat that are not even food sometimes. You've had alcohol, chew, some drugs or whatever it might be. I won't go into that.
Yeah.
That's a whole other talk. But yeah, food affects how we feel. Food affects our mental health. Food affects our health generally. Everything you put in your body affects your health in one way or another. So it can either improve it or it can reduce it. So what we want to do is make sure people are eating food that is improving their health. You want to eat food that makes your body feel good, that makes your body get the nutrients that it requires to be able to grow. The food that we eat, we don't just eat for enjoyment. I know most of us, our biggest reason for eating is, will I enjoy it? So that is it. That's where you...
Will I get satisfied?
So that's why you find people are eating big amounts of food, or people are eating all this junk food because we are all about enjoyment or satisfaction. But health should be the number one reason why you put food on your plate. And if health is your number one reason, you will have a way that you think about food.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So that is what we're here to talk about. How do you think about food?
Yeah.
Now, one of the things that people have not yet really come to realize is the way I eat that works best for my body might be different from the way you eat and what works best for your body.
Sure.
Now, that doesn't mean that I'm endorsing the blood group diet. No, I am not endorsing any diet today. No. I just want to say that nutrition should be personalized. For example, you're a mother. For example, maybe you have one child, I don't know. One. So your diet, and maybe you have a goal to have another child.
Yeah.
Your diet will most likely be also affected by what is that goal that you have. If I'm a marathon runner, my diet will be very different.
Of course.
If I am
a sportsman.
Exactly. A sportsman, your diet will be very different. If I'm a construction worker, my diet will be very different to be able to achieve all those things I need to achieve.
Yeah.
So a diet that might work for me as maybe a person who stays at home, I might have a very active lifestyle as a housewife, for example, that requires also a different kind of diet. But at the end of the day, there are some points that each of us have to. There are some guidelines that each of us has to make sure we hit those points to be able to get the best help for us, depending on our situations. It could be I'm a pregnant woman. A pregnant woman's diet is going to be different from a non-pregnant woman. Very different.
Yeah.
A person who, for example, has a disability, their diet might be very different from someone.
Of course, the needs are different.
They're very different.
Yeah.
So you find that personalized nutrition is important because at the end of the day, you need to be able to go to a professional nutritionist or dietitian, and they can help you break down for you your lifestyle, your goals, your body composition, for example. What are the goals you want to see? You know,
those are things we don't invest in, Edith. Those are things we don't invest in here in this country. Like, I get money, I go to a nutritionist who's Edith and say, tell me what I should eat.
Yes. They need to be able to break it down for you, explain to you how much protein you should be eating, how much carbohydrate you should be having, what types of carbohydrates and fats are healthy for you. What they should be able to bring for you that in very clear picture, so that you can know whether you're hitting your goals or you're completely off your goals. Because if you can't see what the goals are, then you don't know whether you're hitting them or not, right?
Very true.
So you need to be able to know, for my body, for what the work that I do, for my body composition, for where I want to go. Do I want more fat in my body than protein, than muscle, or do I want more muscle than fat? You understand? So you find that personalized nutrition is very important.
Wow, and how does nutrition help us survive the non-communicable diseases?
That's a good question. So from the point of view of personalized nutrition, if you come to me, Adele, I will break down for you those things and be able to tell you the best sources of protein are these ones. The best sources of carbohydrate are these ones. The best sources of fat are these ones. And then we find a way for you to add all of those aspects into your meals. Make sure you have water. Make sure you have your fiber coming in. Where does the fiber come from? We break them down. So that's what I'm going to do right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that we are eating enough protein, enough fat, enough carbohydrate.
Yes.
And fat is an essential part of our diet.
But we don't want fat in our bodies. We're always fighting it in the gym.
So we have what we call, now this one, we do have what we call bad fats.
Okay.
And we have what we call good fats.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to make sure you're not eating more bad fats than good ones. So there are limits to how much fat you can have. So I'll break it down.
Yeah.
Carbohydrates, in our diets, we have about between 45 and 60% of our diet. If you have a pie chart, for example, 45 to 60% is carbohydrate. Then you have your protein, 20 to, I think, 30%.
Okay.
Then you have your fat, which is 30 to 35%.
Same almost as protein.
Almost the same, but still higher.
Okay.
The fat in our diet should actually be higher than the protein in our diet.
Okay, interesting.
Very interesting, right? So you find that when you make your plate in that kind of guideline, you're able to maximize the amount of health benefits that you get, right? So that pie chart, imagine it being your plate. Now, in the carbohydrates, we want to make sure most of our fiber comes from plant sources. Yeah. So plant foods are important for diet, for carbohydrates. Most of our carbohydrates come from plants. Okay. Animal foods tend to be sources of fat and
some protein.
Yes.
Okay.
But then also plant foods also are a source of protein. For example, the beans, the peas, the nuts, the soya.
That's the most common source in this country.
Yes.
Beans and peas and all that.
Very healthy.
Yeah.
Very healthy and especially very good for prevention of NCDs. We have fiber. We have so many vegetables. So we have so
What are vegetables hard to eat, Edith?
They are not hard to eat. We have just learned to cook them in one way.
I think so.
We are not using our creativity in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So when you ultimately start to use your creativity in the kitchen, you find that you can actually fry your nakati with mango. And you will be shocked at how nice that thing will be, and you will be
and you will enjoy your vegetables. Wow.
So how are we cooking our food? Now let me tell you, when you eat your nakati with your mango has vitamin C, nakati has iron. It allows your body to absorb that iron better. The vitamin C allows you to heal from wounds much faster. You understand?
Yeah.
So being able to combine your foods in a way that allows you to enjoy them. We are not taking away enjoyment.
Yeah.
Enjoyment.
You should enjoy your food at the same time when it's healthy.
Thank you. That is the ultimate question. Can we enjoy the food?
Yeah.
Is it healthy? Are we making sure we are getting all the nutrition our body needs? Now, one thing that we have not realized in our communities is when we eat poorly and we don't support our physiological function of the body starts craving foods. For example, we like our chips, what. But if that's all you ever give your body is never
going to ask for anything else.
That's number
It will always want chips and chicken.
But the thing is, it always wants more nutritious food.
Okay.
But that comes out in terms of cravings. For you, you just will keep on craving things. And when you crave, you will just crave the things that you keep on. Like if you eat chips and chips makes you feel good, you will keep buying the chips. Because you're like, my body wants. But that day you give your body healthy food, it will crave that healthy food. And the good thing about healthy food, actually, it curbs cravings.
Yeah, because I remember when I started eating boiled food, like no fried food. Like right now, you can't put fried food in my face. Like, what are you talking about?
It really curbs cravings. Your body doesn't like them anymore.
Yeah,
you're like, no, I'd rather have the other one. Because now you've learned that your body is getting what it needs.
And by doing that, by eating healthy, those diseases we talked about, diabetes, cancer, you're sort of curbing the risk.
Yes.
And that we need to be very, very intentional about this, because when these diseases come, they are very expensive.
Yes.
Everything we have worked hard for
goes down the drain.
In a minute.
By the
in
way,
treatment.
Very quick. Very quick.
COVID taught us the same.
People go into poverty so quickly with NCDs.
It's, by the way, it's crazy, yeah? That you can come from living a lifestyle that is posh to becoming poor just because you're treating one communicable disease.
One disease like this, and it takes everything from you. So it's important to really get the facts now.
Yeah.
If you're not doing what you need to do, if you're about enjoyments of chips, chicken, pizza, what? Only. No.
But we should have them once in a while. Once in a while.
You take them out. No, even a nutritionist will tell you your body also has to have that one time where you're like, ooh.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
But I think also what's making us fail to eat healthy, how we cook our food. We just go, put nakat in the water, and it is so bitter, and you're like, and then you give it to your son. That child will never like greens, ever.
Yeah. So it's important to learn how do we cook these meals in a way that allows even the children to enjoy them. Now, I've learned, I follow a number of nutritionists online, and they give you ways to actually improve children's acceptability of greens. Now, the issue is also in our children, the grab we buy for them.
The things we give them take to school. Biscuits, margarine.
Carbohydrates, they are full of fats that are not healthy. But that's what's cheap, that's what's available, that's what is bought.
What else can you give them to go to school with? Those are the things you quencher, we used to take quencher.
Yes, I remember Safi. Safi was what?
Without quencher, when at school you're not stylish.
You feel like you're out. You feel like I am not okay.
You're not in place. You even get mental health, my friend.
So now we need to, and this is where we need people to come in with ideas. Yeah. We need people, because now the truth is, there's no one person who can solve all the problems. But when we put our brains together, we can come up with solutions.
Healthy snacks. Yes. Take to school.
Healthy snacks. I've learned now that you can make pizza with cauliflower. I have learned.
As a topping as well.
As a topping as well, but also as the base.
As a base?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to do some research around it, because I love cauliflower.
Cauliflower, you can use it as a base in a pizza, and it can come out with the healthiest pizza.
And it is so healthy.
It's not affecting your blood sugar. And by the way, I don't think that blood sugar is only for people with diabetes. No, my friend.
Yeah.
Blood, all of us have blood. All of us have carbohydrates. It's going to affect your sugar in one way or another, depending on the type that you're choosing.
Yeah.
And when you choose things that allow your body to function at its best, it curbs those risks and brings them down. You understand?
Yeah.
So the whole point is to get food that supports your body function, not puts your body in a place of stress. Because now when you put your body in a place of stress, that chips is happy and joyful for you, but your body is going to start craving it. What it does is, for example, I'm thirsty, I'm going to have a soda. What that soda does, it quickly brings your sugar up. So your body produces a burst of insulin to deal with that sugar and break it down, right? As soon as the sugar is down, you get hungry very quickly. and you're going to want to eat something. Now, after it has wanted sugar, you've given your body sugar, it's not going to want you to eat nakati. No.
Of course.
That's when you're going to look for chips. That's when you understand. But now, when you give your body a way to sustain energy, you give it, for example, in the morning, you make yourself, let's say, a small bowl of
cereal.
Yeah, even cereal.
Like
oats are really friendly for blood sugar. So you can mix your oats, but now add something that has fiber in those oats. Banana is good. You can add apples in there. Cook them together and soften that fruit. Cook banana is already soft, but like apples, for example, you can drop some apples in the porridge as it cooks, and then you can add maybe you can actually add chia seeds. Chia seeds are very good. They have a lot of fiber, very good fiber, and they are very filling. Now, when you eat something like that, maybe you add want to add a protein source. We will have to have a balanced meal at breakfast, a balanced meal at lunch and at dinner. Balanced meals are not just for the food on the plate. Even breakfast should be balanced. It should have protein, it should have fiber, it should have carbohydrate, and it should have fat.
We are taking milk with sugar and bread and chapati.
And all that is carbohydrate and fat. Only there's no protein. So we need to increase the protein content in our breakfast. Because now your brain is functioning a lot on fat and protein. Our brains function on fat and protein, as well as glucose, as well as carbohydrate as well, because the only energy source for the brain is glucose. So you can't take out carbohydrates from a meal. You can't also take out fat. Our brain is, I think, 90% fat.
Wow.
But it wants healthy fat.
It wants healthy fat.
It wants olive oil. It does not want your margarine, please. That's not what feeds your brain. No. So you have to work with what your body requires. What does your body need? What does it?
What we eat comes out on the outside. Most cases they say that what you eat comes out on the outside. Like you look like what you eat. And I mean, this is a very, very important conversation. As we conclude it, I want you to look straight in the camera. Let's tell our viewers why eating healthy can prolong your life. And I'm also learning from this conversation. I've learned so much from this because I think I'm also a culprit in some ways in my eating as well. But how do we understand that eating healthy can prolong our life?
Well, we've really gone into all of that. First of all, find out, learn your body. Learn your own body. We think only the doctors should know the body, but no. All of us should learn our body. And we really try. There are so many challenges that our bodies go through, especially like for women, hormonal issues that can affect the way you eat. Like you find a lot of women crave food more than men do because of a lot of hormonal imbalances. So learn your body, learn what makes you crave these things. How can you stop your body craving these things? If you eat healthy, your hormone balance comes back to normal. So chances are you will actually stop craving things. So learn your body, go try to read, try to ask questions. We fear asking questions. We
fear the answers.
Questions. Sometimes we don't fear the answers.
We fear the answers.
We also fear actually asking. But ask questions. It's okay to ask questions. Ask questions, listen, learn, and don't be sure that there's a lot of misinformation out there. I know people who will tell you about chitiko. I know people who will tell you about what. Those be careful about information that you're hearing.
Of course.
Random information that you're hearing that might not have scientific basis, because it can also lead you into problems. A lot of these people who sell drugs for diabetes, what in buses and what. Unfortunately, the government has not yet really started coming down with them. But you find that they'll tell someone, hey, I have this chidomola, you go and drink this chidomola. And honestly, those things rarely work. And they put patients at higher risk for other problems. So don't do that to yourself. Don't go out there and look for alternative solutions, because the truth is those alternative solutions will bring you trouble. But also, in addition to that, a lot of people will tell you that God heals. Yes, God heals. I completely believe that with all my heart. God heals. And trust Him, trust Him and He will heal. He has healed many. So there are so many testimonies, and I truly believe it. But God heals us while also transforming us. And
also,
a lot of us want to be healed without
the transformation. We don't want to do the work.
Yes. So we usually want God to just be like as if what are they called? Fairies.
Yes, we don't want to do the work. It's hard to exercise. We don't have the discipline. It's hard to avoid that pizza. So God, please take that away.
Yeah, please take it away because it's making my life hard. Don't, friends, do the work. Do the work. Do the work. Do the work. But also trust God, because I know for me in my journey, God has been so important in, first of all, remembering that I still have worth even though I've struggled with all these things. I still have hope and a future even though things have been so complicated. Almost some days where you're like, oh my God, where is this medicine going to come from? But He provides. He gives you family, He gives you friends, He gives you, like, God is there. God
very
is there,
true.
family is there, everyone is there. And please do this with support.
You need a support system that allows you go through it without issues of mental health and depression.
Thank you. Now, if you're in a system or a situation where you don't have the support, look for support online. For us, we have a patient support group. It's called Africadiabetesalliance. It's online. You can message us, and we actually do have monthly gatherings where we come together as people living with diabetes and we talk about these issues. So get involved, get engaged.
Actually, speaking of that, if it's okay with you, we can leave the lines on the screen for those who want to join the group. If you're having diabetes and you want to have a group that can support you as well, we can leave the numbers on the line or also in the description box. Just find out and then reach out to the group as well.
That would be really great. So we do have monthly meetups where we meet with people, we talk about things, we teach them about what is diabetes really, what is it? And then we're also going to go into different things. Like with a lot of people who are living with diabetes will also probably have pressure, will also probably, some are dealing with cancer and diabetes. So you find that at the end of the day, you're going to have to talk about all these issues.
True.
A lot of mental health struggle. So these are things that we realize a support system really matters. I would not have gone through 2020 without a support system. Because the World Health Organization came out and said people with diabetes at the highest risk, they aren't going to die. The fear that we had.
I know.
Having that support system allowed me to be like, and I had to look for information to support people. And it allowed me also to see what the truth was. You know, so the thing, we actually helped each other, and it was really, really good to have that support system, to have a responsive support system, because you know, you can have a support system but it's not responsive. And
that doesn't help.
It doesn't help. You still feel like you're not getting the help that you need. So thank you so much for this opportunity.
No. This conversation was important. It had to be had, and we are going to share it. Guys, my community, let's do this. Let's share this conversation with the world. Let's have everyone watch it, because eating healthy is important. I myself have picked so many lessons. I'm going to initiate the same in my family, because it starts with one person to change the whole culture. So it's up to us to eat well. Eat smart, because you need to protect yourself. Non-communicable diseases can get you poor. And remember, this channel is about growth and accountability. You cannot grow if you're not healthy. So thank you, Edith. We are so grateful for gracing us here at Candid Talk, and we believe to have you sometime soon when we have questions and answers around this topic. I'll share everything, and then we can have that conversation.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much.
So wonderful.
Thank you so much. Let's say bye together.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for watching.
Bye.